1967 Ford Mustang. The guy's got to do the right thing and just try to drag it out of here and get this thing running again. Yes. Bring the thunder. It's not bringing anything. That's fine. So we're going to gently tickle them, starting out with the Tanya Harding 300 here. Wow, sweet Bobby Labonte, come off of here. We are getting one good burnout. You ever seen a car on the side of the road just kind of forgot, rusting away, and thought to yourself, I wonder what it would take to get this car running and drive it home? Well, I do just that. I travel the country looking for abandoned vehicles and save them by putting them back on the road. And to start, I've got one for you. I just bought a car that's been sitting in a backyard for 28 years, and I'm going to see what it takes to get going again. I'm Bieri. This is Roadworthy. This is a 1967 Ford Mustang, and it's been sitting in this exact spot for 28 years. The guy's got to do the right thing and just try to drag it out of here and get this thing running again. What makes this car really special is it's actually a one-owner car. They ordered this from the factory with all of the options they wanted. Oh, it's a Mustang. That's a factory model. Slightly slower than the Mustang, but they made them super rare. It looks to be really complete though, even with the poverty caps and everything. We got the door locker 300 going on here, I see. That works great. No, definitely didn't. Let's see what we got here. It smells like used urinal cakes and burnt broccoli. It's not good, and I ain't kidding you. Oh yeah, just, just get right in. Oh. Well, it's still as nice as I thought it was. Starting out, we got some push button radio, probably AM. We have no ignition sticks. Normally a guy likes to start in the trunk. If you've got head gaskets or charging whirlers or something like that. Gives you an indication on what you're in for when you pop the old power barn, but we don't have any, is what I'm saying. But we do have some other stuff. What is this? No idea. We got brake light. Now it's spraying, that's fine. Ice scraper, never be used here. Oh, poker cards. That's a front pocket fine. Okay. More light bulbage. We seem to have an electrical issue. Fuses confirm that. Digital tape. Uh-oh. We got 23,000 miles, which I can't really tell, but based on the condition, I'm going to say that's definitely 123, maybe 223. Not sure. Oh, we'll just pretend we didn't see that. We got definite ankle vintage on the passenger side and about 58,000 walnuts throughout the vehicle. I think we can clean this up. A little bit of spit shine, it'll be just fine. Let's get under the power barn here, see what we got making the ponies. Oh yeah, she'd been wrecked or something. That's not the original hood. We got blue here. It's had an accident. So we got this will be a 206 cylinder. They make like 48 horsepower, so that's good. But we got a radiator. We got a fuel making happener. We got a lightning whirler. All sorts of stuff still in here. Let's see what we got. That is bone dry. No surprise there. Test the blood stick for the shift machine. Oh, it's actually fairly red. Doesn't smell like burnt hair, so that's good. And then get over here to the engine oil, see what we got going on. It says low, but you can't really trust that. Not bad, probably 1030. No gasoline, no antifreeze, so that's great. It hasn't froze up or cracked a block. We can at least assume for now we're ahead. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this belt. Hope it doesn't snap and just give her an old yank and see what happens. we've got rotational edge, but minimal. But now we know it's probably at least worth the effort of hooking a chain on this thing and dragging it out of here. So I know this car is really rough around the edges, but listen, it's an iconic Mustang, so it's definitely worth my time. I think I'm just gonna start by putting all the easy bolt-ons on the engine. We'll paint it up a little bit. Interior-wise, carpet and seats are gonna do a wonder. Exterior-wise, I'm thinking just polish this paint out, put some elbow grease in it, maybe paint this hood black, bring it around a little bit. This is definitely gonna be a go-in-the-town rig. Something you can go to ice cream with, bingo, parts run, I don't know. Cruiser car. Budget friendly. My wife Jessica's in the old GMC here. We're gonna hook the two together and see if she can pull us out of here. That'll work. Feed her the onions. Go. Yep, that's good. Okay, so now we'll reaffix you over here, and then we'll snag on it and shoot that direction. Let's go easy. Likes to spin the tires, I guess. Keep going, keep going. That's good. Well, the good news is none of the tires rolled. Great. Well, the glass packs sound nice anyway. Well, we got the outfit unstuck. Clearly the tires, well, they're not, doing the rolling thing, but we're going to pretend we didn't see that for now. I think we should focus our attention on the engine and transmission. Maybe get this thing fired up, hopefully, and then we'll come back around and address that later. Okay. I think we'll start at the fuel making happener. See if we can make some fuel happen. It felt like the gas pedal was moving, but yes, I'm not quite sure yet. Got one barra in here, of course. No, the linkage is actually busted. Oh yeah, she's locked up tighter than Alcatraz, and I ain't kidding you. So I think what a guy's gonna do is just squirt a little bit of lubricant in here, try to get this freed up. And while this is soaking in, I think I'm going to pull the sparkulators out. We're probably going to replace all that anyway, so might as well just dig right in. Oh, that one's bad. Okay. Same with that one. Weird. Ouch. Sure. All right. You can also lay these out, scan them a little bit, and then we can get an idea of how it was running. For example, this one's saying richer than Oprah, so we'll just put that there for now. See what these others say. She's an oil burner. Guarantee. So there's our question on mileage. She's definitely in the 200,000s. Next thing we need is fuel and some sort of sparkles. We'll work on the lightning system here in a minute, but I gotta get this fuel make it happen or working if we're gonna try to make this thing run, or at least idle a little bit. So we're gonna pull this off here really quick, and maybe I can get at it a little bit easier. Try to get this butterflying. Tell you a thing or two about a thing or three. This thing is stuck. Yeah. So I've just been bending up this fuel make it happener here, and well, not making any progress. If I keep going, I'm just going to break this thing and I won't be able to refurbish it in the future. So I'm going to set it over here and just ignore it for now. Ran to the shop and picked up this one. Don't judge a car by its cover. This thing is brand new. No, definitely not. But I did rebuild it a few months back, and it's probably like 78.3% more gooder than that one. So bolt this on and we're in business. For crying in the mud. So just finished up the fuel make it happen here. Got the fuel line in. The linkage is, well, it's linkaging. Got all the vacuum leaks that, we could see plugged up. I think we're pretty dialed in there. Next, we got to move on to the lightning system. Get some spark down there to the sparkulators. That's going to require a lightning cube. So guy picked up this one. There's a very specific reason I picked this up for this model here. So pay attention. No, it's just because of the handle, mainly, but we'll drop this in and Next, I'm gonna hook up my Lone Wolf 6000 trigger. And basically this is gonna allow me to turn over the engine from out here. We don't have a key anyway, so basically we're gonna be hot wiring this thing. And then if it rotates, we can check off a whole bunch of boxes here. All right. That's fantastic. Oh. Hey, it's actually working. That's fantastic news. And if you just heard there, all of the cylinders sound pretty even. It's not like a galloping sound. So the compression is pretty even, which is great for us. This is an absolute mess though. I do have a new relay. I may consider taking this apart and cleaning this up. Then we can move over, start working on the lightning system now that we got electricities flowing through the rig. Yeah, so this is some homebrew fire maker. It's not pink lemonade, okay? It's a little bit of two-stroke oil and some bad gas from the 90s out of the lawnmower, but should work here. The oil gives it a little bit of lubrication on the rings and the cylinders, so we're not washing them down in case it don't fire, but we'll get some down in here. Yeah, that was way too much. Perfect. Okay, fingers crossed. Bring the thunder. It's not bringing anything. I gotta take a breath because the starter is just smoking down there like the bingo hall. But she did fire off a few times. I think this might be a runner, and I ain't hearing clanking and banging or nothing else. I just gotta figure out how to like run the trigger, plus do the fuels, and also do the throttlage. We might have this running here pretty quick. Well, things are happening. Oh yeah. There we go. It's alive. 28 years she's a runner. That's fantastic. I actually didn't hear any banging or clanging in the valve train. Clearly the rotating assembly seems to be pretty darn decent. That's fantastic news. So now we can move on to trying to set up kind of a temporary fuel system, get some fresh fuel into this thing, try to get it idling. And then we can move on to stuff like, you know, does the transmission shift, move gears, forward, back, all that stuff. And then I'm still ignoring the fact that, you know, all four tires don't roll. That's fine. Yes. Day 2 on the Mustang here. Pretty incredible. 3 of the 4 tires held air overnight. These bias plies are pretty awesome. Last night we got this thing, well, it fired to life for a few seconds there. Made some noise. That's fantastic news. Today we're going to jump right into the temporary fuel system and just see if we can get this thing idling. Then we got to start working through the cooling system and stuff like that. So I'm going to go grab a NASCAR fuel system. We're getting real fancy. And we'll plop that in here. This might look like a boat tank. Well, it actually is. But it works pretty decent. I'll just kind of rig this up in here. And then we can bypass the fuel tank for now. See if we can get it running off of this thing. Sure, that should work for now. So we can get back to trying to get this thing fired up. Hopefully that pump will start sucking fuel out of here, and we'll see if we can get it running longer than a couple seconds. Boy, it's really trying. Okay, throttle is stuck, that's fine. She's ready to go. That's pretty incredible. Well, that's all the longer we should run it without some ice cube juice in it. Keep this thing cool. But we're making good progress this morning. Pull the key out of it, you know. That's fine. gonna get this thing jacked up. Go ahead and change on the Earl. Don't want to run it any longer on this old oil. We'll put something fresh in here. Yep. Well, with these wheels and tires sitting in mud and water for almost 3 decades, they're stuck, is what I'm saying. So we're gonna gently tickle them, starting out with the Tanya Harding 300 here. It's gonna be a battle. Luckily, all 4 are stuck. That's great. All right, now I'm gonna move over to the drinker side front, jack her up. We'll see if anything happened. Nope, definitely not. Yep. Smells really good. Nope. Definitely toxic. Keep going. Fight through it. Yeah. 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 Oh, this seems dangerous. Yeah. 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 You ever have those days where you just wonder why it is you do what you do? Me either. Yep. Yeah. Wow, sweet Bobby Labonte, come off of here. Oh. Come on now. Yeah. Oh. That was easy. So here's where we're at. Real life. Derek's non-fictional storytelling time. Brake hardware. Busted, snapped, gone. It's bad, basically. It's not going to be here till tomorrow, and I think we can get a little bit further here. So what we're going to do is head over to the Vice Grip Garage junkyard, and I have a 66 sitting over there. We're going to rob all the brake parts off of that, and might as well grab the tires and wheels, because they're new, and we can plop them on this so we can get this on the road. Let's head over there, see what we can get. Love it or hate it, the Ford Mustang is an absolute legend. First shown to the public in 1964, they started selling them in 65, and it became the biggest vehicle release since the 1927 Ford Model A. Think about that. And it made other manufacturers scramble and produce some absolute icons like the Chevrolet Camaro, Pontiac Firebird, AMC Javelin, Dodge Challenger, and the list goes on. And just think, we would not have those cars today if it wasn't for the Ford Mustang. This is a pretty solid rig here, but unfortunately we're going to have to harvest a few parts for ours. All right, we got a whole bag of 66 hardware here. We'll just keep jamming away on this front here. Yes! Yeah! Oh yeah. So we got the front broke free here, all the brake hardware put in, looking pretty good. So try to speed things up with the rear here. You can see I've got it set up to fire the thing up again. I think what I'm gonna do is just jump in, start rowing some gears. Maybe, just maybe, it'll break the rear free. Oh, it's spinning. Awesome. Yes. So this tire was spinning. So we've only got one more stuck. So that worked pretty good. I wonder, how can a guy get this one to stay still so the axle is forced to put power to the other side? So here's what we're going to try. We're on bias plies that are just bald, but I got some help here. One of the production guys is going to be bouncing the rear end over here on the drinker side. And if maybe we could plant that tire in tight enough, it's going to force the rear end to throw power over here to the captain's side, and maybe we could start busting this side loose. I don't know, it's worth a shot. It's way better than prying and hammering away. So now I got the key dangling out the front here. We'll fire it up and see if this works. Easy. Come on now. There we go. Come on. We are getting one good burnout. still think it was successful. I smell rubber. Okay, that was a success. Nope. Sorry, Bill. Well, after 28 years, we dug this car out of the trees, swapped the carburetor, went through a bunch of wiring. Sure. Got all 4 wheels unseized. That was fun. Nope. Complete nightmare. Went through the brakes, replaced the master cylinder, a whole bunch of other stuff. We've done pretty much all we could do up on the hill here. Time to just jam this thing on the highway, and I don't know. See what happens. Hopefully we can get back to the shop and continue our work. Okay. Oh wait, shoot. I gotta do the hood first. Just like a sewing machine. Sure. Get my door latch. Also my seat belt. Yeah, that looks pretty good. You know, trial by fire, quick downhill, gotta make a sharp left and avoid the creek if possible. We're doing the thing. Oh, it quit. Perfect. We made it 300 yards. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yep. Running on 4, that's good enough. Runs fine if you just keep it basically floored. Uh-oh, we got traffic. Oh, please stop. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, no brakes. Sorry. Railroad crossing, we're just gonna jump that, basically. I don't know what's gonna happen, but... Well, that wasn't bad. This thing just floats. Should we do a handling test? Oh, yeah. Not bad at all. 3rd gear, she is gutless, and I ain't kidding you. But the styling makes up for it. None of the gauges work, that seems normal. Okay, gotta keep her running. Get a little bit of the brake involved. Turning. Grab a gear. Oh, now we gotta turn this way. Might pick up some water quick. Rad leaks a little bit, you know, that's fine. Well, we are not in the yard anymore. That's great. Only made it a few miles, already overheated. Typical. Figured out how to keep her running. You just keep your foot to the floor and power brake it with 1.5 brakes. The good news is we have a long ways to go. The bad news is I don't have a radio, but we'll figure it out. Sure, sounds great. My safety strap. Come on. It's getting worse. We're golden. Pizza sure does sound good. And a cold snack. Here we go. Got her to the mat. Let's see what it can do. 60, maybe 70. Woo! Throttle actually stuck there for a second. It just, you know, it's a pony. Wants to go, but I don't have ignition source in here, so that could get a little hairy. So found out the rig has cruise control, not the convenient kind. The throttle just sticks wide open. I mean, it just wants to go. But I ain't got no ignition sticks, so the only options I got are hold the brake down that I don't have, or throw her in neutral and just let it do the thing. I've got some swervy, downhillish, grade, danger, yellow signs that I've got to go through. So I'm going to take a look at that. It's also boiling hot. Again, this radiator is just, you know, it's left the building, basically. But I'm I mean, if we keep stopping every 2 miles, we'll get there eventually. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's hot. Woo! What a beautiful drive, cruising through the hills here. Engine kept sputtering, quitting. I knew it was a fuel issue. I've been rapping on the old fuel to make it happen. I thought the needle was getting stuck, but then I went back in the memory bank and the serial rail back there, you know. And I remembered that I put a carb kit in this not too long ago, so pulled over, popped the top off, and the little dowel that hangs the floaties in there was just, well, it wasn't in there correctly, and the float wasn't floating, basically. So the needle was just stuck closed the whole time, so put that back in its proper place, buttoned her up, got her bolted back on, so I guess we just slam the hood and keep going, but it sure is a beautiful day. Well, we made it. Here at my shop in Central Tennessee. Might be seeing this place a little bit more in the future. First thing a guy's going to do is just dig the old pressure washer out and blow 3 decades of dirt and grime off of this thing. See what we're actually working with here and formulate some sort of plan to make this thing roadworthy. We're back at the shop and have access to more tools and supplies. Guy whipped up a list here and I had to shut it down after a while. It just kept going and going and going. But basically, guy could break this down into 3 sections. We've got mechanical, of course. We got kind of the paint and body work, and then the interior, the big one. We got to get into the trunk. We don't even know what's in there. Fuel pump, got to address the carburetor still, transmission service. We've got replace the radiator and all those hoses, wiring, basically the whole car. We got to patch the floors. We've got tires and wheels we want to put on this thing. I mean, there's a lot on this list. So we're going to try to get this trunk open here. Don't have a key again. So I'm going to get my lock pick set out and just try to gently get this thing open here. Every time. Oh, factory spare. Otherwise, it's in great shape. Original jackage. Wonder if there's any animals in here. Hello? Hello? Lots of spiders. Well, I guess I'll get a snow shovel or something and just start scooping this out. I've been in hundreds and hundreds of trunks and I've never seen this. It's like a garden. It's just packed solid with dirt. I'm not sure if that creature noise was in here or in the shop. Something sulfuric. I don't understand what's happening. So this is my good friend Dan. Call him Dan, the interior man. He's helped me out quite a bit in the past. Does fantastic work with upholstery. Dan, how long have you been doing this stuff?
Well, I started in a furniture factory in 1973, but I did mostly furniture, and then I just transitioned into the car stuff.
Is this the worst one you've seen?
Nope.
Wow. Well, that's pretty impressive, actually. Well, where do we want to start?
We can take the door panels off. We did. I already got part of that started on that door.
Okay. And then vacuum all the walnuts out and
vacuum all the walnuts out. And
awesome. We got a plan. Let's get to it.
All right.
I wore gloves. He's just in there just digging.
Wow. I take it back. This is the worst one I've ever seen.
So it is the worst now?
Oh, it's way worse than the worst. We found a body.
I don't know what kind of critter that is. Likes to eat Mustangs, apparently. Or Hermetically sealed to the carpet?
Hermetically sealed to the carpet. There you go. You got it. Wow, for crying in the mud.
I mean, they just need shined up, really. Decided to go ahead and rebuild the fan, the pulleys, the block. And by rebuild, I mean Craigslist rebuild, or just, brand new. Well, as far as the list goes here, yeah, there's nothing else to, cross off. That didn't happen. But we got 3 huge things accomplished today that weren't on the list. Cleaning that trunk out, that was a disaster. Getting the interior out, that was even worse. And then I stripped the engine bay down and basically reversed everything that I just did. Preparing for the Craigslist rebuild and getting that firewall and fenders all painted up nice. I'm going to scoot it back outside, give it its second bath, see if we can get all the oil, grime, and grease off of this thing. Let it dry overnight, and then in the morning, should be ready for some and also some on the inside. Okay. Yep. Time to roll this thing back in. And yeah, there we go. Rebuild head. New valve springs. Ooh, valve seats too. Brand new water pump. Lost the receipt to that. Pretty much brand new engine. Let me get down here. There we go. Main bearings. Them are brand new now. Gonna pick up some horsepower here, I think. Rattle can restorations. There. New fuel tank with a new fuel sending unit. It's kind of handy to know where your gas gauge is at. You know what I mean? We'll put a new boot on the filler neck here, clean that, and then we've got to plug in the new fuel sending unit. And then I discovered the fuel line that runs to the front actually got squished shut from being bottomed out or something. So I'm going to cut that out, and we'll replace it with a rubber hose up to the new fuel pump we're going to put in. But at that point, we'll have a new mechanical pump. We're going to have a new tank, new sending unit, and I think we even found like a really, really cheap refurbed or remans or repopped fuel make it happener. We'll have a brand new fuel system in this, and that's going to resolve a ton of our issues. And watch this. I'll be dipped. Got keys.
Okay, so this is the back of the rear seat. Whole process in a nutshell. Put a tie wire in here to hold the springs. Put this layer of vinyl. Put a layer of 1/4-inch foam with a backing on it. On the top here, we added a layer of 1.5-inch foam to fill this up. And other than that, all you have to do is hog rings. And these are just the welt that's sewed onto the edge. That's it in a nutshell.
So with this particular Mustang, if a guy was going to just do this correctly, this rig would have to go on a rotisserie. This whole floor would have to go trunk, quarter panels, inner fender wells. It needs some work, but that's not what we're doing. We got to get this thing on the road so we can enjoy it, use it, fix it up over time. So I'm going to do the right thing and just take the lightning scissors and just this out. Cut out a patch panel out of that thing, just drop her in and, I don't know, Zeus it in, screw it in, we can glue it in. Point is, we just need to make this not, such an ankle vent. Try to keep some moisture out of here. So we can throw a carpet over and have a little stability. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna gonna have Jessica step in and put in some brushable seam seal right now. It's exactly what they use in the factory around where all the different parts and pieces come together. It'll keep water, moisture, things of that nature out. Still doesn't make this correct, but you know, helps just a scoosh. And then I guess we go on to that nightmare. Should be way easier. Nope, not at all. Perfect. How's it coming, Dan?
Just exactly how you'd expect it to be.
So really smooth.
Really smooth. Mm-hmm. All right, now I'm gonna go get the mallet.
Look at this already. He probably doesn't want to show us yet, but it's looking pretty good. All right, here's your seat back. Good luck.
It's not luck.
It's skill. Oh yeah, neat touch. I mean, that's 2 for 2. You got the mallet? Who's got the mallet? Jessica, help me! Nailed it.
Did you count for the bend? You add a little?
Oh yeah. It's pi times 2.3% minus 6. And then you take the elevation into account. 3.14683275432 repeating.
That was almost accurate, but not entirely.
It's in the Geneva Convention. Look it up. Anyway, cut this out and then we'll put it in there. Perfect. Run her through the English wheel. Holy smokes. I mean, Chip Foose keeps calling. I just keep telling him I'm busy. One day, maybe I'll go visit him, but I ain't got the time. Well, what in the devil? There we go. Custom with a K. Well, we had a really good day today. We got a lot done, actually. Completed the entire fuel system, replaced all of the floorboards, stripped the engine down, painted that, and reassembled it. And Dan is well on his way to completing the interior. Looks absolutely fantastic. Much better than the springs just shooting out on the back. We're going to throw the hood on it for now, load it up on a trailer, take it down to the local exhaust shop. I got an idea for exhausting this thing, and I think you guys are going to like it. Try to bring this 6 in a row, ready to tow. You know, let's bring it around. Let's hear it run a little bit. And that's going to do it for tonight. Well, we're back from the exhaust shop, and a lot has happened since then. So let me catch you up real quick. We're going to go through this list, and hopefully we're through this thing by now. We did time the engine before we left. We found a different door for this rig. After we polished the paint real quick, just kind of scuffed it up what we could. Psst, rattle can and some yellow on her. I scuffed it up, put some scratches in it, laid down a pinstripe. So paint door, polished paint done. We finished up the interior. We got new carpet in there. We threw the seats in that Dan covered. They look absolutely fantastic. Headliner, sure. Just aerosol headliner that up real quick. Just matte black, looks fine, good enough for now. We put in a back deck lid there, put in a horn button, that spruced it up real quick. Heater hoses, done. Replaced radiator, ended up using one that I had laying around here for a first gen. Spray painted that up really quick, brought that back around, rebuilt. And all together here, with the matte black hood, all shined up, tires and wheels, I think it actually looks really good. The only thing left to do is jump in this thing, go for a cruise, and maybe even a burnout. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Well, almost 3 decades sitting in the trees. What do you think so far?
When I first saw this, I thought there was no way that I would ever sit in here, let alone go for a drive. Honestly, it looks a lot better in here than a lot of our other vehicles. Sorry, but it Would you rate it a going to town rig then?
Well, this is definitely a going to town rig. Guy could go to the post office, right to the tavern, or go play some darts or bingo or whatever you want to do easily in this car. I like how this car turned out because it's what I always preach is just get the thing on the road and just enjoy it. There's no reason we couldn't throw the kids in here and go get ice cream or go to a car show or whatever. And a lot of people just get embarrassed like, well, I don't want to take this to a car show because it's not shiny. If you were to tell me this was sitting in a tree row a few days ago,
you're going to be excited.
I'd be blown away.
Right.
Well, this is my favorite part. We just took a car that was sitting in a tree row for almost 3 decades, and we drove it down the highway, and we're enjoying it. Yeah, it needs a little bit of work, but again, it's back on the road, and we saved this thing from just rotting into the earth, basically. You know, with all the wheels locked up, of course, we got new brakes in this thing from master cylinder all the way down to hardware, new exhaust, give it a little bit of a better tone, some throat to the thing. Dan did a really good job on the interior, and Jessica as well. New fuel system, ignition upgrades, and of course that Craigslist rebuild, a little on the engine. It's all new internally. I just lost the receipts, you know. Maybe it's at my mom's house. I can't remember. But listen, we're going to continue working on this a little bit at a time, plugging away at it, but the search continues for other classics and unique cars. See if we can get those running and driving as well. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Really? We got a 7-year-old car running for the first time after 44 years. Yes! It sounds good! I can't believe it. I just bought this 7-year-old car, sight unseen, and it's been sitting in a barn for 44 years. So I'm going to do the right thing and try to get it running and driving, then drive it halfway across the state back to my shop. Seems like a good idea. No, it's not. There's like mountain ranges and stuff, but the plan is I don't have one. I think we'll start by just walking around this thing, drink it up a little bit, see where to start, and then we got to get some miles, you know, under the belt. So let's dig in. This 50s Chevy may be your run-of-the-mill 2-door coupe, but if we can get this back to the shop, I can see turning this into a really fun cruiser. It's a 1951 Chevrolet Deluxe, or Deluxe, depending on where you're from, I guess. It's got the fancy vent shades here. I think that was an option. You can get that right out of the catalog. Also has the forehead vent right here. That is also a factory option. Just scoops wind, you know, right in your eyeballs. Not good if you have allergies, though. The side skirts are missing, so I think we could fix that by just heating up the rear end and dropping it lower to the ground. Give the illusion, or we can run some poverty chrome, you know, get the duct tape across here. Not sure yet. Oof. Smells like a used knee brace and Vegemite. Floor checker. Oh, yep, that failed. There's a little bit of a hole in the floor. Oh my goodness. Ignition sticks. Oh, be dipped. And they're the right ones. Throttle stuck. Check. Great. I've never got brakes. That's stuck. Check. Oh. We got a clutch. We're well on the way then. Oh, we got window crankage, door opener. There's a dead mouse or something in there. That's fine. We'll just close that. We're gonna close that up. Okay. We got some rocks. I mean, my needs. Yep, dirt daubers. We definitely got originalage going on. That's good. We got everything in here. Fuel making happener, generators on it, starters in, lightning whirler, lightning can with the hoses. This is most likely going to be a 216 or 216.5 they call them, because it has a 3-speed manual. There's 3 on the tree, the old bolt action. You know, we do have a 12-volt battery in here. That's kind of concerning. It gets a little spicy on the ignition system and whatnot in the starter. So I'm going to jump right in, get into the fuel making happener here. We got to make some fuel happen. We got a 1-barrel, of course. That's going to be a Carter. Oh, that's great. Throttle is just stuck wide open. That seems fine. So, very first thing a guy's going to have to do is just go ahead and snip this carb off. I'm sure it's going to need a rebuild anyway. At least get the linkage and everything like that moving. Then we can set up some sort of temporary fuel system. Then we'll move on to, you know, can we get some sparkles, some lightning going in this thing. Okay, so fuel system, we got to make sure the mechanical fuel pump works on this thing. I'd really like to try to avoid running a clicky-clacky because we got a 6-volt system here, it looks like. So in order to do that, we got to get the engine spinning so we can get that pump running. So I'm going to check the oil first, make sure we got something in here. It's got some viscosity, no gasoline in it, no water, antifreeze, anything like that. So we could definitely crank it over with that oil and maybe even run it on it, hopefully, for a little bit. And we'll change it down the road. Next, we got to toss a battery in here. We'll try to put a right one in. Yep. Rid of that. This car also has anti-theft. If you notice here, both cables are red. That's so if someone tries to steal it, they just burn the thing down before they figure out what's going on. I like that. Yep. There we go. Little old school hot rodder secret. Run these 8-volt batteries in here. You'll really get that starter just in Tokyo drift mode, you know, really spinning. I'm just going to reach down, jump this across, see if this spins over. Yeah, starter's engaging and retracting, engine's rotating. We're in great shape. I can see the fuel line is broken off right here. We're not going to be using the original tank anyway, most likely, because 44 years sitting, it's going to be completely full of rust and dirt and grime and you name it. So we're going to plug directly into that pump with my fuel tank down here. 87 octane, it'll work. Bring that onto there. Go get me a clamp later, and we're set. Yeah. Let's throw this up here. Run that pump for a second. We got pressure in there now. Jump it again. We should have fuel coming out of there like crazy. There we go. So we've got a makeshift fuel system, and our carburetor should be done soaking over there, getting rebuilt. We'll tear into that thing, get all that put back together. Then all we got to do is get spark to this thing, and it should fire off. Lots of corrosion on the points, which is to be expected. We could run a file or some emery cloth or some sandpaper through there, clean these up. This wire connection looks good. This one needs a fitting. I might just make a new wire, and then we'll be good. Spady doo dippy and a curlicue tail bob, about 6 feet long. I can make that. 6 feet. Yep, get in there. That's torqued. My back is hotter than Garth Brooks live, and I ain't kidding you. Like that. Yep, it's really important to gap your sparkulators for optimal performance and fuel economy. That one looks gapped, I guess. Yeah. Ignition system checked. Troubleshot, check mark, crossed off, refixed, refurbished, done. So, I'm going to fill the carb bowl up with fuel here. This is a chainsaw mix. It's gas from the 90s and a little bit of 2-stroke oil. Throw a little bit in here. Yep, that's way too much. Now, we'll crank this thing over and hopefully hear it fire for the first time in 44 years. Yes! It sounds good. No, is it gonna sit here and idle? I can't believe it. But I guess I got to. I'm looking right at it. She's smoking good. Yes! That is unbelievable. It sounds absolutely amazing. It's smoking like crazy. That's to be expected. Ring's got to come around. So it's showing over halfway in oil pressure, which on a 50s car would be like 15 pounds, which is completely normal, somewhere around there. Also showing that it's charging. Now we can check that quick. We'll put the digital meter on it. 8.3. I think we're good. This is how we got to turn it off. The generator's going to run it. There we go. I think we should pour some ice cube juice in this thing. See if the water pump is pumping. See if the thermostat is doing thermostat things. See if the head gasket is even going to come back around after a heat cycle or two. And if it stays cool, then we can move on to, does the clutch actually even work? Can we get it into gear? And if we can get it into gear, is it going to move back and forth? Then we'll move on to, last brakes. That's going to be so much fun. The brake pedal is stuck up and will not go to the floor. We'll soak that down, see if we get that freed up, because removing that master cylinder is an absolute bear. Been there, done it. 16.5 times. I gave up once. So, let's see what we got there. Well, for Pete's sake. Okay. We'll put some juice in there and then see if it comes back around. No, it won't. I think I'm gonna have to take this master cylinder out. Wow. Got one of 47 volts out. You have a lens cover on that GoPro? I'm not saying I'm mad. I'm just disappointed in the progress. This is getting messier than Fergie's national anthem. How is that possible? And that's a little victory, That's all a guy needs. Really simple process, Like I was saying, just take your time. They'll come right out of there. Piece of cake. Well, end of day one, it's been a fight. But end of day, the car runs. And I mean, it runs really good. We've got a clutch, it's going into gear. We're well on our way to having brakes now that the master cylinder's in. But we're losing light really, really quick. So we're going to be back at it early tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this thing will be running and driving under its own power. Hopefully. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the 1951 Chevrolet Deluxe. 8 million pounds humidity. Rained all last night. It's supposed to rain on and off through the afternoon, so I think what I'm going to do is I had the wheels off the car and set down and got some tires on last night. I think I'm going to snip those on this thing and actually try to drive this back into the shed, get a little bit of cover. I can work at, minus 30 with snow blowing, but the rain on a guy's back, it just gets my productivity down. Today's plan is just continue working on the brakes on this thing. We got the master cylinder in late last night, so I just got to get all the brake wheel cylinders and shoes and hardware, and I'm sure I'm going to snap some brake lines off and all that stuff too. Great. This is what we're after. You can see here on the wheel cylinder, look at that. junk pouring out. That's all moisture, corrosion. So this thing is going to be locked up. And what they're supposed to do is push these shuttles out, which spreads the brake pads out. And that's what stops you. We're going to go ahead and tear all this off, get these wheel cylinders out. The tricky part is the rubber line connects to the hard line up here on the frame. Getting those two to disconnect without twisting or breaking the steel line is, you got to be surgical. Okay, here we go. Just rebuilding the back plate here. Now it's brand new. Since we ordered new rubber lines, we can just cut this one. Look how constricted that line is. No way fluid would have flowed through that. Kind of having to do this a little kitty wampus because I don't want to risk spinning the nut on that steel brake line like I was talking about earlier. So what we have to do is spin the wheel cylinder around this line, effectively tighten it while it's loose, then try to seat it into place. You could do an entire drum brake setup, just a pair of vice grips. Yes. There we go. One side done. 3 more to go. All I'm going to do with these is just hit them with some brake clean, make sure they're nice and clean, thoroughly inspect them again, hit them with some high temp grease, slide the drum back on, and one done. Hear that rain? I'm so glad we moved in here. Dodged it. Well, the small thunderstorm that was supposed to go around us turned into a Class 9 hurricane. It is raining cats and kittens. Went ahead and got all the wheel cylinders and shoes and brake hardware in all the way around the car, but of course, all that work trying to save the hard lines at the frame was moot. Yeah, they broke all off at the master cylinder, so we ended up putting all new hard lines in this thing as well. Great. Everything's fine. I don't know what I just ate. So after getting the new master cylinder in, I quickly discovered someone had been in here cobbling around with the brakes, and it became really evident this is probably the reason the vehicle was parked. There was some parts in here from a later model Chevy, and well, I had to fight to figure out the right fittings and hardware to make all of this work, but it's finally bled. We have brakes at all 4 wheels. I think we're ready. Well, I think it's finally that time to put this 1951 Chevrolet Deluxe back on the road. Threw a fuel tank in the drinker side of the rig here, ran the hose straight through the glove box, which, by the way, glove box light comes on. I'll be dipped. Now we're ready. I'm excited to drive this thing, for real. Speedometer works. No way. Oil pressure gauge is still working. We still got some oil pieces. It's charger late. Charging whirler's doing the thing. And the clutch. How good is it? It's at the very top. This is my favorite part right here. I just can't believe it. I guess I got to though. I'm looking right at it. That whining sound, I believe, is the speedometer just putting in some work. It says 30, 50, 30, 52, 49, 46, 61, 28, 42. I don't know. I'm not an auctioneer, is what I'm saying. Steering feels fine. I never really looked at anything. I just pretended everything was good, you know. Nice little first cruise here. I didn't check how much fuel we had. I guess I can just look right here, though. About a gallon, maybe. Hey, made it to the motel. Hey, first test drive, not that bad. 15 or so miles? I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention. I was having so much fun. It's doing okay up hills. Doing even better downhill. Second gear seems to be what we're going to do, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. We're going to leave bright and early, give us the best chance. I think we got like 160, 170 miles of just, you know, what you should probably not do, but we're going to do it. Car's doing great. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Well, we got some good sleep in preparing for today. Did a little bit of an inspection on the car, making sure this thing's ready. Topped off the radiator, checked the Earl, it's perfect. I kicked the tires, all 4 of them. I really don't think there's anything else left to do but go ahead and just stick this on the road. A couple things we're worried about today. Obviously overheating, that's a big one, climbing these hills and whatnot. So far, been pretty good. Brakes, I don't know. I think we might be okay there. The biggest concern is going to be that clutch. 2 options. We're either going to get back on its own power or we're going to get back on a flatbed. Hopefully the first one, that would be pretty neat. Either way, I'm excited to dig into this thing, clean it up, and make a few visual changes as well. Here we go. We really got her whipped up now. Speedometer says 90. Well, 80, 82, 90, 93. Probably 60, 65. We're going to coast for a little while. I do know they have a runaway truck ramp on this one. So, if we need to, we'll just dip in the sand a little bit. Come on, girl. Goodness gracious! What was that? Bunch of water running off this rock face here. It's really pretty. I think there might be a waterfall up here, actually. Yep. Wow. That's cool. So, guy swung over to check out the waterfall, which I'm still going to do. But we had some sort of water explosion here. And I'm seeing water just flowing out the front of the block here, and I'm thinking it might be the water pump. Hey, everything's fine. I think we made it like 40 miles or something? No, maybe. Something like that. Well, that escalated quickly. Derek's non-fictional storytelling time. I've learned over the years, carry a few extra parts with you. The basics. Hoses, water pump, carb kit, stuff like that. Thankfully, we happen to have a water pump because one of the bolts is leaking. So either the gasket, checked out, or that itself is also rotted and really porous, and it's leaking out pretty bad. So we're going to do a swap on the water pump quick. I'm just contemplating maybe taking this rad out. It might make the whole process a whole lot easier. Plus, I want to be super careful and not tear this thing up. Believe you me, we need that. And I might also replace this top hose because the clamp is basically halfway through the hose itself. And I do happen to have one of those as well. So, cooling system, overhaul, and what a fitting place right here, right next to the waterfall. If all goes well, we'll be back on the road in, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. Give me a little time, okay? Now we'll take this down to the shop and have it flushed real quick. Perfect. If we break these off, we're in really big trouble. Thermostat check. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good flush. By the way, flushed all the rust out of this that I could before I put it in the shop. Relax. It's off. Oh yeah, that one was in really good shape. Mazel. Go ahead and replace that quick. Looks like the bow of the Titanic in here. we're gonna pretend we didn't see that and just jamming the hose on. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. Gonna top off the water jugs before we head out, just in case. It was a blessing this was here, actually. So I got a couple more, throw them back in the car, hit the road. Hopefully we can get some miles under our belt without any further issues. Fingers crossed. Get off them freeways, folks. You know what I mean? Hit the back roads. That's where you're really going to discover some neat stuff. Well, we actually made it. Took the better part of an entire day, but I don't even care. That was so much fun. Throwing that big, huge steering wheel around, watching the aviation-inspired hood ornament up there through the split glass windshield. Absolutely amazing drive. One I'll never forget, actually. And now that I spent all day in this rig, I got some ideas to really bring this thing back around and really make it a go-in-the-town unit. And of course, we'll have Jessica look at it as well, and I'm sure she's going to have some ideas. But I'm going to call it a day. We'll see you in the shop, wrenching on this bright and early tomorrow. Well, we made it back in the 51 Chevy. Engine runs pretty good, but obviously there are a few things that guys got to address to make this an official going-to-town rig. Now, there's still some mechanical things that need to be addressed, like, you know, the fuel jug and fumes and the passenger floorboard there. Maybe we can delete on that, put in an actual fuel tank, fuel lines, replace the carburetor. And then I want to jump into the interior here. The headliner's flapping around and you're continually eating the contents that are kind of circulating in the cab. We got to address that. Missing a door panel, patch the floor, just make it a nice, comfortable feeling interior. On the outside here, I got my patented shine juice. We're gonna lay on this thing. Watch what it does to this paint. It's really gonna bring it around. I got some really budget-friendly options for tires and wheels. It's gonna make this thing look really sharp, give it a smidge of attitude. And then speaking of attitude, we gotta get some attitude adjustment. Just bring this thing down a little bit. It looks like a pickup truck right now. So we're gonna lower this puppy, give it just a little bit of rake, and I think this car is gonna look fantastic. It'd be a nice cruiser. Got quite a list to get to, so let's jump into it. Whoa, almost died. Nice to be under the car, but not laying in cow pies, hay, and gravel. The frame in this thing is actually really, really solid. Got a foot vent for the passenger here. Something on the list too is addressing this exhaust. It's basically straight piped, it's broke right here, but one more good railroad track jump, I think it would have come off and this would jam into the ground, so I got a fix for that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Exhaust deleted. Where I'm gonna start is back here on the fuel tank. I don't know how they got the tank out of here. It must have been just completely rotted. And then this fuel line is rotted as well, going up to the front. So we'll replace that fuel line. We'll hang a tank, get new straps. We'll get a new fuel sending unit in it, and then we'll have some capacities. Old one is out. Boom. Fuel system almost complete. This is a Rochester one barrel, where the old one is a Carter. They're slightly different, but they both work just fine for the 216, 235, basically any straight six platform. I think the Rochester might perform just a little bit better, might I say. So I gotta do something with this interior. It's crusty. not very clean, does not smell good. So I think what we're gonna do, I wanna do this whole car just on a really tight budget, right? So we're just gonna try to tack this headliner up somehow, leave the rest of it, because really it's not that bad. Pull the seats out, patch the floor. We'll just find some NOS replacement panels. And by that I mean license plates, side of a stove, whatever we could find. I'm picturing kind of a mid-60s kind of shine runner, hot rod kind of look for this car. Is we're gonna do like the Mexican blanket seat covers on this. Maybe even door panels and some other stuff. You could pick them up for, you know, $15. I got a pile of blankets. We'll see if we can affix them to these somehow. But first, I gotta get this thing vacuumed out. It's pretty nasty. Ooh, we definitely got fire on this side. Why is it so heavy? Make sure to use all your back. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, the smell just ripened up.
Oh my gosh.
Hit that with the mouse sucker. Yeah, this side's done. I'm going to take a break because I don't want to get welder burn. I'm going to do the ankle vents back here, then move over to the drinker side, get that side patched up. Smells like a porta potty at Woodstock.
Oh gosh.
Oh, now it's really floating up, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. This is that stuff that I was eating on the way here yesterday. Yep. Yeah. It's in my left lung. I still got one more. So what we're gonna do with the new headliner is also put back some texture. And I'm gonna do that by using a rubberized undercoating. And it'll also give that flat black look that we need. Well, it's the end of the day. We're packing up for tonight. Time to check in with the list here. I gotta admit, cleaning this thing out was a little bit more labor intensive than I thought. I bit off, we bit, there's more, we're chewing on it still. Fuel tank ascending unit, that's in, looks really great. Fuel lines are in, we got the carb in. Brand new exhaust. By that I mean Sawzall straight pipe. Really excited to hear that, actually. Headliner's done, just, you know, snip that, little bit of rubber undercoating. Seats almost there, door panels we're tackling tomorrow. Patching the floor, everything's welded up, seam sealed, looks perfect. Patch the roof, almost there. Tires and wheels, that's a big project for tomorrow, but we did just paint the wheels. Suspension we have to do, polish the stainless. We did get headlights in. We popped these yellow headlights in. That goes along with that attitude line. I think it looks really sharp. Actually changed the whole look of the car, just the lights themselves. Tomorrow we've got a ton of work to do, but I'm confident by the end of the day, we're going to be driving this thing, cruising it around with its brand new look. I'm really looking forward to it. See you bright and early tomorrow. Hey, good morning. So I think where we're going to start today is pressure wash this and dig right into the paint and get as much of this old paint and contaminants and everything off that we can. And also, I'm going to bring all this chrome and stainless right back around. And then while this is drying off, I can finish up the front seat in the shop there. Then we'll wheel it back in and get after that list again. But after doing this several hundreds of times, I've kind of got a technicals down that work pretty good. A lot of you have probably heard of the Comet Wash, and that works great. Quick, easy way to kind of clean it up. But I took it a step further, and I've been doing it this way for years, and I've done several hundred cars like this, and it just works really good. And what I use is these steel wool pads with the soap in them. And if you can't find them with the soap, get the Quad 000 steel wool pads. and they work fantastic too. And if you have bigger areas and you're kind of in a hurry, go find this gray steel wool. I'm gonna use a little bit of just dish soap and water here, or you can use glass cleaner if you want. But if you watch the surface rust here, we can actually just come in and really quickly take that right off. Now this is only for like a lacquer finish or like a single stage enamel finish. It's not for like a base clear. So don't go rub this on your wife's Porsche or something like that. Oh, not good. But you can see how quick and easy that takes it right off. And here's what's really cool. Say you wanted some more color in this, right? We know there's some white under here. I can come over here and if I apply pressure, I can brighten that up really quick. And if you look back around this corner, I did this last night, just as an example. We can come through, right through the paint, and you can make shapes and directions and anything you want to do. So this really is your paintbrush in a sense, but I'm going to do the whole car like this. You can feel it's rough and pretty porous, and then all of a sudden it'll start slicking up, and the steel wool will start moving around quick. That's usually when you can call it quits, unless, again, you want to make some color changes or you got some stubborn surface rust. Turned out great. It took a long time to look like this, so we're just going to preserve it and enjoy it. Oh no.
Stop.
You're too used to that. So I was backing it into the shop here and it's running really weird. I mean, just wouldn't stay running. Got under the hood here and it's running super lean. It's not jetted correctly at all. It's supposed to be, but it's not. I don't have any jets for Rochester one barrel, but I do have another style Rochester off of a 235 that I've rebuilt and jetted, and I know this one's pretty fat. I'm gonna pop this one on and just see how this engine reacts with this carburetor in it. Nice thing is these literally only take like 5 minutes to swap. Oh, it won't bolt up. No. I wonder if a guy could he? Well, let's find out. Oh, be dipped. Yes, torqued. I can't believe it, but I guess I got to. I'm looking at it. Now, we'll go pop it on and see how it runs with this thing on it. Yeah, runs way better. That's exactly what we needed. Chip it. Yep. This seat weighs more than the whole front clip. Good enough. Yeah, just leave it like that. It looks pretty good. Not bad at all. I'm probably going to do this more often, actually.
No, we're definitely not.
So we're moving on to the paint here. And normally I'm a big fan of buffing this old paint out and trying to bring back the original shine, but this one's got so much exposed metal and different primers that it just really wouldn't look that right, especially with the roof there. So another option is we're going to do kind of a boiled linseed option here where we can just wipe on a coating. It's going to protect bare metal, it's going to protect some of the primer, and it's going to give it kind of a eggshell or matte finish. Depending on how you mix it, you can get a little bit more shine out of that. You got to start with bold linseed oil. It has to be bold, not the regular linseed oil. And we're going to start with 3 to 1. And Jessica's going to be helping me, so I'm going to mix her a batch as well. And then grab some Earth Ghost Juice here. And this is going to cut it down, take some of the sheen out of it. So the more you use of this, the less shiny it's going to be, basically. I like to put some penetrating oil in mine. Really brings out that shine. You pick your flavor, but this is the secret to my patented bold linseed oil. I call it shine juice. Sure, see? That's looking good. Yeah. Oh. There we go. So now I'm going to mix this up, and we're going to use a microfiber towel, and all you have to do is dip this in, and we're going to wipe it on the car. Now, I must say, this is extremely flammable. Probably don't be, chewing on a cigar when you're putting this on as well. So there's a few different ways to lower a vehicle with coil springs. Of course, there's drop spindles, coil springs, or a combination of those two. And then you can cut them or you can heat them. And I really wouldn't recommend either one of those. They're dangerous and they change the geometry of the front end and everything. So I'm going to do the right thing and heat the coil springs in this car and drop the front end as much as I can, basically. I want this thing riding on the bump stops, if we can do it. You really only get one shot at this. So we got the front of the car lowered and it looks way better. But now the back end's about, 1 7/8 too high. There's some options out there to lower this down, none of which I have access to today, but I got an idea. We're gonna add about 250 pounds of sand, level this thing right out, and improve ride quality. Sure. So let's check in with the list here. We've been putting in work today for sure. Door panels, got them in. Check. Seats turned out pretty darn well. Patched roof, looks factory, can't even tell. Tires and wheels, those turned out perfect. Exactly what I envisioned. Changed the whole look of the car there. Suspension, lowering, you bet. And guess what? Cost about 35 bucks. Shine juice, check. The only thing left to do is drive it. And I guarantee you I'm going to do that. Let's jump in this thing, go for a cruise. Off the road for 44 years. Here we are cruising the back road to Tennessee. There's nothing wrong with this thing. I mean, it doesn't have cruise control or Bluetooth or a radio. No. This is a really neat old car. Well, like the good old boys say, they just don't make them like these.
That is for sure.
So I gotta be honest, the first time I laid eyes on this car, I was a little bit nervous about getting it back on the road and driving it all the way back to the shop, especially over a mountain pass. But it really didn't take that much work. I mean, we cleaned the carburetor out, went through the ignition system, got some lightning to her, threw some fresh fuel on it, and it came back to life, and it sounds pretty good. Biggest fight we had was the brakes. Master cylinder, shoes, wheel cylinders, lines. That was a battle royale, but if you look at this car overall, we didn't put a lot of money into it at all. It was mostly labor. Biggest expense is these tires here. Guys got to have those one way or another. We're having a lot of fun enjoying it right now, but there's still a little left to do over time, and that's the best way to do it is just work on it a little bit as you can. Right now, we're just having a lot of fun cruising this thing. Well, that's it for this episode. We've got more to save, so we'll see you next time. Then we'll put the carburetor on. Sound check, sorry. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. How you doing? I'm fine. Your hair is blowing right in my face.
Well, it's all over my face too, sorry.
'Cause it's too cold for you here and now, so let me hold both of my sweater. And all I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity's centered. Touch my neck, and I'll touch yours. You in those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about, and what I think about. One love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't wanna tell you about, no. Cause it's too cold for you here and now. So let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater. And if I may just take a breath away, I don't mind if there's not much to say. Sometimes silence guides a mind to move to a place so far away, yeah. The goosebumps start to race the minute that my left hand meets your waist. And then I watch your face, put my finger on your tongue cause you love the taste, yeah. These hearts adore everyone the other beats hardest for. Inside this place is warm, outside it starts to pour. Coming down, one love, two mouths. One love, one house. No shirt, no blouse. Just us to find out. Nothing that I wouldn't wanna tell you about. No, no, no. Cause it's too cold for you here and now. So let me hold both your hands in the holes of my sweater.
Roadworthy Rescues. We save a forgotten funny evidence that for 30 years and convert it to EFI. There it is. No. Our hunt for forgotten classic cars has brought us to the middle of nowhere in Illinois. We're going to be picking up a vehicle that's been off the road for about 30 years or so. It's not this beautiful Sierra 35. It's somewhere back here buried in a shed. Let's go find it. Is that a 1250 Cub Cadet? Nice. This guy's got a lot of good stuff laying around here. I see a, I don't know, 80s Corvette. It's probably got that tune port in it. 40 Ford, see that from a mile away. This thing is covered in ants. This is really cool. I think this is like a 64 Ford, but we got a 460 in here. Keep going. Looks like a 50 Plymouth. You don't see those a lot. And here is the car that we're after. 1966 Pontiac Tempest. There's two reasons I was really interested in this car. One, it's a four-door, and four-doors wagons are really hot, and I've always liked them my whole life, to be honest. But the biggest reason is what's under this hood, and it's probably not what you're thinking. There it is. The OHC Straight 6, or overhead cam engine. This thing is really neat. Goal today is get this thing running, and I've got to drive this thing 300 miles back to the shop where we can continue working on it. I think the first step is we just got to push this thing out of this garage. It's really tight in here, and we can get a better look at what we got going on. Yeah, not so much rolling. What a cool looking car, huh? Looks like the shed's got some termites, maybe. Pontiac made the Tempest from 60 to 1970 and again from 87 to 91, but we'll pretend those newer years don't exist. You're welcome. This one here is obviously a four-door post, but 66 you could get one without the post, so it'd be a hard top. It's like a late 80s, early 90s restoration here, and that's where this is going to get interesting. We were told this has been off the road for 30 years, so could get a little spicy. Actually, exceptionally clean, with the exception of a lifter, and actually this is a really good time to explain how this engine works. Traditional pushrod engines have the cam somewhere in the block, right? And then you have push rods and lifters and rocker arms that run the valve train. Well, in this unit, the cam is on top of the engine, and the lobes basically operate off of this, and this is what's opening and closing the valve train. So this is a little bit concerning that there's just random valve train parts back here. Either it's missing or maybe it's been replaced. I don't know. Let's jump on the inside and see what we got going on in here. Oh, it smells like a potato sack full of used knee braces. It's not good. It's not good, but bed liner is about perfect. About 14 different flavors of mold growing in here. 15, very reminiscent of the GTO right here. Air conditioning. Oh, we dipped. Doubtful very that works. AM and the FM. Frequency modulation. Oh, it's one of those bottom exit units. I mean, it's a pretty solid car. Oh, we got boom booms in the back. You know, the Warren G's, got some speakers. Shift linkage is there. Blinker stick seems to be doing stick things. Sure, good enough to get home. Let's take a closer look under the power barn here. Come up with a plan, maybe. Nope, just gonna wing it, but yeah, this thing is really neat. And at first glance, I mean, everything seems to be here. Definitely has had a Craigslist rebuild done. You know, brand new. Lost the receipts. This might not be too bad. Fingers crossed. The one huge hiccup we could have here is a fiberglass reinforced timing belt that runs this whole contraption. So if that thing isn't, you know, doing the thing, the engine doesn't run. And that is a mess doing that job. So I got a ratchet down here on the crank. I'm gonna hold that with one hand so it doesn't interfere with the ratchet. Try to roll this thing over 360 degrees. I'll get my ear meter out, extended about 3 millimeter. And then we're gonna listen, make sure we hear the valve train turning and everything like that. Then we know the belt's in good condition and the engine's not stuck. Oh yeah, it's turning. It doesn't feel that bad. Usually you can feel like ring ridges, things like that. I think we're in good shape there. That is fantastic news. Let's move on to the ignition system. I don't know, start probing things, make lights come on and off on the tools. And then once we get sparkles to the engine, we'll figure out a fuel system at that point. I got a very specific battery for this rig because it's got a go handle, you know. Slide this in. All right, so now we'll go ahead and throw the ignition sticks in, park check, key on, and then we'll go ahead and move towards seeing if we got spark at the old sparkulators. So here's my little blinky test light thingy. All right, we're gonna crank her over, see if we got any spark. Oh, that sounded terrible. I'm already about 114.2% positive. The points, you know, the contacts aren't pointing. Did a little bit of rooting around in there, you know, and this one, I don't know. That's not right. So there's a chance the guy's thinking this was grounding out on the case of the distributor there. Got a new contact set here. We'll pop this in and it should get us going. Okay, light bulb should do light bulb things. And it is. We've got the spark. We got sparks now. So, we got to move on to fuel. Now I'm going to run a temporary fuel supply into an NHRA approved fuel container. Nope, definitely just a snowmobile tank. And now we can see if the needle and seat work. Probably not. And then hopefully this thing just fires off. Yep. Wow, this stubborn little mule. What do you think Randy Travis is doing? I don't know. This guy, he can go up here. So now, there we go. I can hear it filling the bowl, and that should change tone if the needle's gonna hold. I need my carburetor adjuster. There it is. Theoretically, if I crank on this, it should hopefully make some noise. Bring the thunder! It kind of did the thing. Come on. Starter sounds like a dying dolphin. Running. Come on, girl. It's alive. Kind of. Doesn't sound very good. I think I'm gonna kill it. We'll start working through this thing. Well, I think what the guy's gonna do here is pull out all the sparkulators. Oh yeah, that's richer than Oprah. Nozzle change on the lightning hoses. Them are older than all three of my kids combined. And then we'll just start working through a tune-up. Welcome to Derek's non-fictional storytelling time. Did you know Pontiac developed 8 straight 6 engines between 1926 and 1969. This was the only overhead cam straight 6 that they made. Pretty neat. Yeah. Lightning Storm is brand new. We're probably gonna have to dig into that fuel make it happener and rebuild on it. Here we go. Oh yeah, she's pretty dirty. We'll spray out the exteriors first right into the oil drain pan, and then we'll go ahead and pop it apart and see what we can do with the thing. Old Rochester. Whoppin'! No, it's more like but you know. Now, guy's just gonna start spraying everything down and say smart words and then put it back together in the reverse order. Okay, we got this thing all rebuilt, and hopefully with new sparkulators, lightning hoses, other doodads over there, and this rebuilt, it runs like 17% better. Clicky clacky. Let's see what we got. But idle now, just still, you know, poorly. Alright. So I was looking down there and I could see the vacuum advanced diaphragm putting timing into it basically. Take that away and well, it runs a lot more gooder, I'm sure. Yeah, that's fine. It'll come around. I mean, 30 years is a long time for a vehicle to sit, right? So we gotta let the rings come back around and do all sorts of stuff. It's time to put some water in this thing, see if the radiator even holds water. Thermostat might be stuck, I don't know. The biggest thing is, I'm gonna move because I can't breathe any longer. So I got some basically fuel injector, carburetor, solvent, cleaner stuff here. Hopefully bring those sticky rings back around and whatever is wrong with the number 3 cylinder, it'll completely rebuild that. Runs like a Swiss watch, and I ain't kidding you. Well, that's a pretty good sign. We just abused on it pretty good, didn't get hot. Unfortunately, it is smoking a little bit. my belly button tells me it's that number 3 cylinder, but you know, a long drive home at sustained RPM is probably just what this thing needs. It's gonna stretch its legs out a little bit. I think while we got it running here, might as well jump in, grab on the shift machine, and see if it, you know, shifts. Neutral, of course that's gonna work. Drive. Oh yeah. Reverse. Oh yeah. All right. Ooh. Pretty sure I just broke. Yeah, I just popped the brake line. That's fantastic. Well, we have a transmission and no brakes. Perfect. That is just perfect. Yep. So, bleeding the brakes. We're getting fluid to the rear just fine. The master cylinder is doing its thing. Unfortunately, we've got no fluid at the front at either side here. That's supposed to be open in the center to let fluid travel through. Not even close. So I think I determined why the drinker side front isn't braking. The C-clamp over here, you know, I don't think that's supposed to be there traditionally, but I'm not mad. I get to take home a new C-clamp. Well, we're losing light, so I think we're gonna call it for today, but listen, I know it looks like a mess, but we had an awesome first day. After 30 years, we got the Pontiac fired back up. It sounded pretty good. The transmission works. It seems to be staying cool. We're just fighting these brakes right now, but we're down to one wheel. We'll see you guys bright and early. Tomorrow, the goal is to put this thing on the highway. 11:07 early o'clock. Back on the Pontiac Tempest here. So we got all the brakes bled here. None of them are blowing out right now, and we don't have any leaks. That's the main thing. So I'm gonna move on to the fuel system here. We're gonna need the capacitize if we're gonna go 300 miles. I think it would be a lot of fuel stops at 2 gallons. I'm gonna put a fuel filter in line before the pump, try to save on that. Hopefully that one even works. And then put another fuel filter over here right before the carb, and then we can kind of monitor what kind of debris and rust and who knows what we're gonna pull out of that tank. So a guy wants to put a water temperature gauge in here. Weird, I know, right? We want to make sure this thing stays cool not only on the way home, but I have some pretty radical ideas to hot this thing up when we get it back to the shop, and having a temperature gauge is very, very important for that process. What I'm going to do here is actually remove the thermostat housing, or the water neck here, drill and tap that. Well, you can see there's a huge advantage to buying vehicles from other fellers that do hot rod stuff. Well, there's the fitting, so I can stick my temperature probe right in that guy. This is just going to get mounted up in the cab there, and of course, and then we'll be able to monitor the temperature. Needle, needle, needle. Here we go. Well, we got our new tires and wheels here. Biggest difference is we're going from a 205 on a 14 to a 225 60/15 all the way around, and oh yeah, white letters out. Yep, kind of gives it that muscle car feel. Outlaws! I think this will give it a nice attitude. It's finally that time. The Tempest is ready to hit the road. Redid the ignition system, tuned her up a little bit, adjusted the timing, rebuilt the fuel, make it happen around here. Yep, brakes and brakes. I gotta go this way? I can't remember. And brakes. Tires and wheels, just enough cleaning to see where we're going. Let's throw this thing on the road, see what it does. First few miles is gonna tell us a lot. Ooh, tire rubbish. Bad. That's all right, just gotta turn wide. Power steering works great. Biggest thing is gonna be keeping an eye on this temperature gauge, and also this fuel gauge, if it happens to work, would be absolutely amazing. Otherwise, we'll have to do the calculations, and I'm not good with the math-magicianals. For some reason, the sawdust is staying on the hood. How is that happening?
Ain't got no ACs. Wait, that is literally blowing right now. Oil pressure, 39 pounds of that. Give or take 39. Well, speedometer says 60. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm gonna cruise at this speed for a while. Doesn't feel like I'm really pushing it. We're at 190.7 degrees on the temperatures. And if we do good, doesn't get hot, maybe we'll pick up the pace just a little bit. Well, that's what 230 degrees looks like on a Pontiac, I guess. No water in the oil. That's good. I'm gonna back the timing off. I think it's the first thing I'm gonna do. Too advanced, too hot. Well, I got the timing readjusted. Adjusted the air fuel mixture on the fuel making happener. Adjusted the idle speed as well. Somewhere along the way here, I better pick up like 512 gallons of water, I think. Maybe just fill the back seat. And hopefully this works. Got her down to 190 again. Just gotta get some clean air here. Make a slower pace. See what happens. Credence Clearwater. Slow down. Legendary Nashville. I like to call it Nash Vegas. It's changed a lot. It has, and I ain't kidding you. Buy one pair, get two pair free on the boots? Okay, sun's going down. Let's find a highway, get this thing back to the shop. Well, we actually made it to the shop. I asked a lot of this Pontiac today, and it actually delivered. Now, tomorrow, we're going to tear into this thing, and we're going to go ahead and hop up the 6-cylinder, of course, address the paint and interior, but first, I'm going to get a little shut-eye. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Well, good morning. We're back on the 66 Pontiac Tempest here, and I brought some help in. Dan, the interior man. How's it going, Dan? Perfect.
Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
I love it down here.
So I'm going to write out a list here on the windshield, something we could just start knocking some items off. I think I'm going to dig in on the engine first. Now, the popular vote, of course, is going to be probably take this straight 6 out, put some sort of Pontiac V8 in there, and I hear you. But listen, personally, I'm kind of fond of this OHC6. They're incredibly unique, and they're getting really, really hard to find. So I'm going to leave this thing in here, but we got some work to do on it, that being said. So we got new exhaust, we got a 4-barrel intake. Now I want to fix the hesitation, improve throttle response, and we're going to do that by going fuel injection. And I know that's a little unique as well, but hey, why not? And then the interior here, we got Dan here, and you can work your magic. What are you thinking on that?
Well, the headliner, we had some really good luck with that headliner. And so we're going to take that down, re-sew it, put new listings in it, and put it back up in there. And it should look brand new when we're done.
Nice. What about the seats? What are we going to do there?
Well, we've got some black seat covers.
Dash? You going to do the dash?
Yeah, we have a new dash, and that's also black, so that's going to work out fine.
Obviously, on the exterior here, just cleaning this thing, washing it, and doing a quick buff and maybe a little bit of shine juice is going to be an incredible transformation. I think it's probably going to be just enough. This is a lot of work, so Dan, we better get digging in here.
Okay.
So,
There you go. it looks like.
Well, this is drying off here out in the sun. I'm gonna scoot into town and pick up a bunch of miscellaneous pipe and pieces and things. We got a 2-piece header system here, and I gotta make this somehow do the thing under the car, and the other one's in also a weird shape, so I don't know. We're gonna go get a bunch of pieces and flanges and things like that and try to put something together, I guess. Another beautiful day in Tennessee. Guy doesn't mind going to the parts store when you have a drive like this. It's just beautiful. And, you know, the classic car helps a lot. What's this thing do? Oh, this one's way better. Sure. Sure. Think we got what we need to cobble something together. It's basically just got to be gooder-ish enough to where an O2 sensor does the O2 things. I'm digging into the intake and exhaust, and they're on the same side, obviously, over here, like a lot of straight 6s are. Got the intake log and the exhaust log right underneath of it. So I'm going to get the accessories off, the power steering, the charging whirler, and basically strip the entire side of this block, because then I got to piece this header in here, or headers, and start figuring out an exhaust system. And, well, I'm not an exhaust guy.
What we have here is this seat back, and we also have the seat bottoms for a 67 Firebird that we're trying to make work in a 66 Pontiac Tempest. They're way too short side to side, and what we're going to do is add some pieces to it, one on that side and then one on the other side, and that should make it big enough to fit the Pontiac Tempest.
Okay, 58 hours later.
Just sewing around the perimeter, just inside of the edge of the piece of vinyl. So once I get these pieces sewn around the edge, I just trim them off. Try to keep the scissors on a 45-degree angle so it kind of back cuts it. Machine does all the work. All I'm doing is steering, kind of like a car. Now, if I did my math correctly, this piece will be the right size.
So basically this is going to be our exhaust system here. It's just tacked into place right now. What would have been ideal for this header setup would have been dual exhaust, obviously, but I don't have the tools, material, or time to make that happen. So we're going to go 2 into 1 like this, and then somewhere back in here is where I'm going to put, I guess around 18 to 20 inches, the O2 that we need for the fuel injection. Just got to clean this up now, get it all prepped, weld everything in, and then put it in the car for the 98th time, bolt it up. So I'm going to start the fuel injection system with fuel. This does not have a return style sending unit to the tank. There's only one line out, and that just feeds the fuel pump. With this fuel injection, we got to have a line coming back. So I'm going to start here at the sender. We're going to put a return style sender in it. Fuel will come out. What's not used comes right back and drops into the tank. And then right here on the fuel rail, up over here, we're going to be splicing into this and putting in a pre-filter, the actual digital electronic pump, and then a post-filter. And then we got to run the fuel line back to here, and then also some electronic digital wires up to that pump. So I happened to notice here after a guy, pressure washed it, tore it down a little bit, a lot of the Craigslist rebuild is wearing off, So I'm going to put some new bearings back in it and rebuild the Craigslist build. Good opportunity to get under the exhaust system here that missed that. Performance cam going in. Looks pretty rebuilt from this side. Make it happen. This piece. Well, we got the Clifford intake in and the header's in. Just got to tighten up a few more bolts here. Basically what I'm fighting right now is the original bracketry for the power steering pump is not going to work. So a guy whipped up my own bracket and just welded that right to the header, and we retained that power steering. So I'm happy we were able to do that. But this is the extent of the exhaust system. That is it, and it's going to sound a lot better. Okay, back in for the 300th time. Maybe next time. Well, I think we're going to call it for today. It's getting very late. Got quite a bit done today. I got the fuel sending unit in, all the fuel lines, the pump, the pre and post filters, the header, the intake. Started on a little bit of the wiring, and Dan, you've been hard at it too. This thing is stripped out basically.
Yeah, we got the carpet out of it. We got the seats out of it. Tomorrow the headliner's coming out of it, and then still modifying seats to put back into it. So we got our work cut out for us.
But that's going to do it. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Yikes. But today is the day. This thing is going to be back running and completely put back together, but there's a lot to do yet. Right now I'm working on the throttle cable. I got to get that figured out. Still have to do all of the wiring, finish the fuel lines, and actually get that sniper in, programmed and tuned. Dan's working hard on the interior. He's getting very close to start putting stuff back in. And I called in Jessica. She's going to come out and help as well. I'm going to have her start on the paint, start buffing that, and hopefully by the end of today, we're going to have a completely transformed running car. The biggest change I'm going to be making to the Tempest is the Holley Sniper electronic fuel injection system. It's basically a 4-barrel throttle body with the injectors built right in there, and it's going to bolt right up to the Clifford intake. Now we just got to make sure that that's 12 volts, 12 V's on the dot. I don't think I've ever seen a 4-barrel EFI setup on a Pontiac OHC6 before, so this might actually be the first.
So these are listings. I'm going to sew these together and then sew one for each bow that there is to hold the headliner up.
So these are the final 2 connections I have for all of the wiring on the fuel injection system here. It's just positive and ground for the pump. and we're very close to firing this thing up. So I'm gonna have Jessica do the polishing on the car here while I continue to work on the engine and whatnot. This here machine, she can get really good around all the corners and edges, and you don't have to worry about burning any of the paint off. She'll hit everything from the trim down, and I think the sides will polish up nice. This here is the original factory throttle cable here. Press on the gas pedal, that moves your carburetor right there. And this one is too short, not gonna work. And that's gonna be the start to the new throttle bracket. Oh, this better run. Now we can go to monitor, multi-gauge, vitals. We got 12.3 volts, that's good. And we'll crank it, see what happens. So far, everything's good. There it goes. Just like that. It's alive! What a difference. Alright, let's get this paint done, get the interior done. We gotta go drive this thing. So we've got to finish the shine out to bring this car back around into a go-in-the-town rig. Jessica's got it buffed from the trim down, but we've got to deal with this. And this is really common when you're into old rigs and rescuing these things. And I've got a mixture here I'm going to show you guys. Anybody can do it. Pour some of this linseed oil in. And then, this is your shine. If you want to cut your shine, you're going to put in some earth ghost juice here. Okay? And the more of this you put in, the less shinier it gets. I'm not going to do it a lot. To do it Derek style, get your favorite penetrating oil, and you don't need a lot of this. Just like a spritz. Mix this up, and I'm telling you what, your mind's going to be bottled. Watch what it does to this paint. There you go. Now I do have to tell you, when you take a flammable chemical and a flammable chemical and a flammable chemical and you mix them together, this is flammable now. Dispose of this properly or your shed might just go up in smoke. So I got a small issue here on the digicals for the Holly. I don't have a good 12-volt switch source, and what's happening is during cranking, the Holly is shutting off because it doesn't have enough power. But I can fix it with a relay under the dash. On, off, on, off. On, off, off, on, off.
We couldn't find any replacement carpet kits for this, so we're just going to save some time and money and use the old spray on it.
Still can't get this voltage drop situation figured out. Can't have nothing nice. Every single pin on this fuse panel drops to about 1.5 volts, 2 volts when cranking. There it is. No, and I can't get it to go, so I need to fix this correctly. So I'm gonna do the right thing and just put in a toggle switch. You know, that'll kick the old Holly on and off. There we go. So right now I'm gonna take the old dash panel out. We got a replacement. And this one's not really bad. There's a blemish. Well, I can't find it now. Up here somewhere. Santa Claus. Hey, we're having a productive day today, and I ain't kidding you. I got a lot to cross off. I'm gonna have some wristitis by the time I'm done here. Exhaust is done, intake's done, fuel injection, that's done. Shine juice, applied, she's shining. Headliner's repaired, but not quite in yet. The seats are almost recovered, got the new dash in, the carpet is colored, we buffed it, put all 4 new headlights in there, we got the sending unit in. We're looking really good here. Once we get this headliner in, then we can start putting in that carpet and seats and everything else. Dan has one more back to do, and he's almost done with it. You can see right back here, that's the back to the front seat, and then it's just assemble between the 3 of us. That should only take about 14 minutes and 39 seconds. Okay, time for carpet. Dan's got the headliner in, all the trim. That's looking good. Jessica recolored this earlier today and it's dry. What a cheap, easy way to change the color of your carpet. Do you want to throw the back seats in?
Okay. That one was like brutal. Oh, right through the window. Right.
Tuck it in. Lean. Use all your back.
Nope.
There we go.
I like it.
Seat done. Looks great, Dan. I feel the extra love you put into the foam. It's nice. We really put the work in today. We've got the whole car complete as far as what we're going to do with this thing. And I think tomorrow we're going to go for a spin. You guys want to go for a cruise tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go bomb around the hills of Tennessee and have a little bit of fun. That's going to do it for tonight. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. In just a couple days, look at what we were able to accomplish. We got a tremendous amount of work done on this. And just think what someone could do over the course of a year. We started with the tires and wheels, buffed the paint. Jessica put the shine juice on the top, kind of blend everything in. Brought all the stainless and chrome back around. Performance intake, performance headers, exhaust. Of course, that Holly Sniper has absolutely transformed this OHC6. Dan recovering the seats, package tray, fixing the headliner. Looks fantastic. Jessica colored the carpet, dash pad. Overall, we have a very nice, solid driver. I call it a go in the town rig, and I think that's what we're about to do. Should we go for a drive?
Let's
Go
do
to
it.
town.
Ride's pretty good, doesn't it?
It does.
Ride's terrific.
What do you think was the hardest part about this one?
You know, not knowing if the 4-barrel fuel injection was going to work. You know, if you look and search around, it's not like there's people out there that go, I've done it, it works, here's how. And
So this turned out really good. I think Dan did such a great job with the seats, recovering those,
Yeah.
getting that dash pad put in.
and the body in this, there's no rust in
Yeah,
this
it
car.
looks good. It's pretty straight.
Well, I enjoyed waking this Pontiac up from a nap and working on it, but I just don't have the time to take it to its full potential. So I got an idea what to do with this car. We're gonna pass it on to a feller that's been looking for a project, and I think this is perfect for him. Hey Carlton, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Heard you've been looking for a project car?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, first impression?
It's beautiful.
The body is almost perfect. Brand new seats, but what makes this one super unique is now you've got the digital electronic fuel injection on this puppy, sitting on top of a Clifford intake. You've got headers, you've got custom exhaust on it. It just needs someone like you to take it to the next level. Here you go.
And I appreciate that.
Pontiac Tempest is yours. Take care of it.
I appreciate you, Derek, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it. Take care. And there goes my ride home. So I guess I've got to find something else. That's going to do it for this episode. Stay tuned. There's plenty more to rescue. Oh, there's a Camaro.